All right, wrestling fans, welcome to the National Wrestling League St. Louis. I am Ben Miller, sitting with Christopher Fulton. Christopher, we have a fantastic tag team match in store for everyone watching at home.
You know, these guys were in a singles match just not that long ago. I'm really anxious to see both these tag teams hit it. They're both tag team specialists. I'm looking forward to seeing this one.
And coming out first is the Antisocial Network of Tommy Flagg and August Marshall. These guys hate wrestling fans but love professional wrestling, Christopher.
Well, can you blame them? Have you ever been around wrestling fans? I mean, they are terrible, terrible people. I certainly can relate to that. Love the sweet science of wrestling, but wrestling fans leave a little something to be desired. That's for sure. These guys, though, you're absolutely right. Definitely tag team specialists. Looking forward to this match for sure. Taking on another team, definitely tag team specialists as well.
And their opponents are a tag team that are just looking to have a good time and are here to prove it to everybody in the Casa Loma Ballroom, and that is the Party Crashers, Spike and Boulder.
You think that's their given names? You think their mothers named them Spike and Boulder? I don't think so. I think these guys got something to hide. I mean, look at them. They're just idiots. Look at these two idiots right here. I mean, these
Christopher, come on. These guys are, do you like to have fun? These guys are ready to have fun. These guys are the type of guys that come to every party that you have. They drink all your beer, and they're just looking to have a good time.
That's what you call having fun, wearing a terrible cut-off T-shirt and trucker hats. I don't think that's fun. You think that's fun? Anybody out there think that's fun?
Well, whether I think it's fun or not, what I know is going to be fun is the action that we're about to witness here in the squared circle in the Casa Loma Ballroom. Now, August Marshall is the guy on the Antisocial Network that's wearing the purple striped attire there. And although he may be the smallest man in the match, he is going to use his craftiness and his guile to try to get the Party Crashers down on the mat for the 1-2-3.
One of the things I like about the Antisocial Network is that these guys are edgy. They are on edge the whole time. Look at them. They're irritated, right? That makes for, aggravated and also makes you very, very tough, you know? So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Look at him. He's just agitated. He doesn't even want to be there, so he's going to want to get in and get out as fast as he can.
That's right. And one thing about the Antisocial Network is they hate the lights here. They're always complaining that the lights are too bright here in Casa Loma Ballroom or wherever they compete. So they just want to either look for a flash pin, look for them to get in and get out, just like you said, Christopher, as quick as they can. And we have August Marshall and Spike starting off the action here, and we are underway.
Well, they probably hate the lights out there because there's getting a reflection off of Michael Crace's head. That would bother anyone, that is for sure.
Looking for a schoolboy there. Does August Marshall. Boulder, the much stronger of all the competitors coming in the ring, letting August Marshall thinking about it before he looks like he's going to slam him down into the mat.
Blind tag right there. Good tag team maneuver right there. Good splash as well. Look at these guys. Perpetual motion. This is fantastic teamwork right here by the Party
Leg
Crashers.
drop right across the throat. Almost gets a 3 count there. Speaking of quick pins, that was almost a quick pin there by Boulder of the Party Crashers. Snapmare over on August Marshall. Looks like the tag team about to make a wish. And here comes Tommy Flagg in the ring, maybe thinking about trying to break it up. Miscue there.
Tommy Flagg not doing his partners any favors with that particular maneuver right there. A little south of the border, I think. Maybe that should be a DQ, if you ask me.
It looked maybe a little bit low, but the referees here in the National Wrestling League are on top of the action, so I'm sure the referee used discretion there. Oh, drop kick.
Beautiful
right to
teamwork.
the chest there. August Marshall showing his athleticism and with a stunning dropkick right to the chest. Only gets a 1 count, though, on Spike.
It's too early. I got to say, it's too early to go for a 3 count right now. These guys, tag team specialists, they've been around a long time. You're not going to beat them just like that.
Tommy Flagg coming into the ring. Nice axe handle to the back. Whips him into the ropes. Knee right to the midsection. Sends Spike head over heels there, right in the center of the ring. That's one way to get the gas tank a little bit lower. I was saying that he had a lot of gas left in his tank, but if you take a man's wind away, it's only a matter of time before the gas tank runs out and he gets pinned for the 1-2-3.
These guys got a lot of energy. That's exactly right. I'll give you a little credit for knowing a little something about wrestling right there. Yeah, you got to take the wind out of them. You're not going to be able to do much if you can't breathe, that's for sure. August Marshall, great elbow right there.
Only gets a 2 count there on Spike.
sometimes I think you covered the man just to humiliate him, just to sort of demoralize him a little bit, to think, I am always thinking about beating you, and that's what the Antisocial Network is doing there. Well, fantastic beard, by the way, for Tommy Flagg. I'm a big fan of that.
Tommy Flagg here coming in the ring. And like we were, to your point earlier, Christopher, when you actually, it takes a lot of energy for your opponent to kick out, as you would well know, being a veteran of the squared circle. It takes a lot of energy to push somebody off. So every pin actually takes a little bit of energy out of the opponent. Beautiful double stomp there by Tommy Flagg. Going for the cover here. This could be it. 2, only gets a 2 count.
Tommy Flagg, you can tell he spends a lot of time in the basement. What's he doing? He's watching wrestling tapes. Obviously, got a very much influence, a Japanese influence to his style. That is for sure, with that double stomp right there, evidence of those particular types of maneuvers.
August Marshall finding 2 quick shoulders right into the breadbasket of Spike. Once again, taking that wind away. Spike has been in there for quite a long time, Christopher, and he needs to make a tag if he expects the Party Crashers to go to the pay window tonight.
Bread basket, pay window. Could you be any more cliche? He hit him in the gut, Ben. He's trying to beat this guy up. Let's not make things too clever here.
Tommy Flagg coming in. Nice quick tags in and out by the Antisocial Network. Whipping Spike into the turnbuckle here.
Setting him up.
Going for a clothesline. Spike ducks out of the way. Spike ducks another clothesline from August Marshall. Rolling in, making the tag into Boulder. Boulder coming in the ring.
House of Fire.
House of Fire clotheslines Tommy Flagg. Looks like he might be going for another one. Ducks a clothesline by Tommy Flagg. Nice knee right to the face. Boulder almost gets dumped to the outside. Tommy Flagg sidestepping and fires a knee into August Marshall's face.
Knee. These guys just one step ahead of the Antisocial Network have been for most of this match.
Mule kicks Tommy Flagg right in the chest. Could be setting him up for a neck breaker here. No, discus lariat. Connects right with the throat of Tommy Flagg.
That could be
going for the
right
cover
there.
here. 1, 2. Only gets a 2 count. Tommy Flagg getting the left shoulder up just in the nick of time.
Showing some resiliency there for sure, but that was a beautiful maneuver by What's that? Is that Boulder? Is that Spike? I don't know.
That's Boulder in the ring now with Tommy Flagg. Tommy Flagg gets dumped to the outside.
Time to regroup.
Wow, tope suicida there, right through the second and third rope.
Hit both those guys right up against that guardrail. Those guardrails are not very forgiving, that is for sure. What do we got going up here? What is he doing? Oh, he's going up to the top as well.
Looks like Boulder showing a little bit of his athleticism here.
Whoa.
Springboard moonsault
That was
connects
fantastic.
to all 3 competitors and sends him down to, I mean, what an athletic maneuver by Boulder. I mean, he's usually the powerhouse, showing great athleticism there by doing that springboard moonsault.
You look at these guys, I got to say, I'll give it up to the Party Crashers. You look at them, and they just look like a couple of buffoons, right? But both guys definitely know what they're doing in that squared circle. And as a team, boy, they're going to be hard to beat, I think.
Double spinning kicks there, connect with the back of the head of Tommy Flagg. Spike going for the cover here, only gets a 2 count. August Marshall in to break up the pinfall attempt.
What is August Marshall doing?
Looks like he's a little excitable here. Tommy Flagg makes the official tag into August Marshall. August Marshall, gets met with a boot by Spike. What is Spike setting up for here as August Marshall trapped in the corner?
August is trapped. This isn't good. Oh,
he got
turning it around. What's he
like
setting up for now?
It looked like he raked his eyes there. Underhanded tactic by the Antisocial Network.
Too strong to be pulling a maneuver like this. Ooh, beautiful teamwork. Look at that.
Assisted ace crusher sends Spike down to the canvas.
That's it right there.
2. Only gets a 2 count. Boulder trying to come in and break up the pinfall attempt, but Tommy Flagg there and to cut him off.
It looked like a little slow count to me. I think that was a 3 count if you ask me. I think Michael Cresa a little slow on the uptake there. Tag
into Tommy Flagg. Tommy Flagg coming into the ring here, looking to put away the Party Crashers once and for all. Blind tag there.
Is that a tag? That was a tag, right?
Double. It looks like pump thrust kick by Spike in the middle of the ring.
Ooh,
and Tommy Flagg just punches him right in the face.
You can get as fancy as you want, but sometimes you just get punched in the face. Beautiful maneuver by Tommy Flagg. Maybe set him up for another one.
Looks like he's picking him up in a fireman's carry. What he could be, I don't know what he's setting him up for here. Could be a Death Valley driver or a Boulder trying to fight his way out of it.
He's in a bad way right here. Nice!
Looks like going for a stunner and flips him over. This could be it. 2, 3, and that's it. Spike and Boulder put away the antisocial network of Tommy Flagg and August Marshall.
Well, if these guys were upset when they got to the ring, they're going to be a lot more upset as they are leaving. Beautiful win by the Party Crashers. These guys, I got to say, they're a couple of idiots. They look like a couple of drunks to me, but they know how to wrestle. I'll give them that.
And what matters here, Christopher, is the wins and losses in the National Wrestling League. And the Party Crashers are now 1-0 as a tag team, and they also picked up a singles victory last week against half of the Antisocial Network. So the Party Crashers are off to a great start here in the National Wrestling League.
They certainly are, but they are sending a terrible message to the youth of America. Just get drunk and do nothing with your life, and you're going to be successful. Well, it seems to be working for the Party Crashers.
And fans, we'll be right back here on the National Wrestling League.
They said you're not like everybody else, Cal. When you grow up, you better be like every single other brick in the wall. Step in line, just like everybody else. But the problem with that is, I'm not like anybody else. I never have been, I never will be. I don't run from trouble, and I don't run from fights. And when you face Cal Stark, it's exactly what you're going to get. It's a fight.
Welcome back, wrestling fans, to the National Wrestling League St. Louis. And we have a singles match here that is guaranteed to thrill you. Cal Stark is taking on Maverick.
Well, Maverick is a guy who burst on the scene, big Texas native, really took it to his first opponents. This guy's really exploded. Nobody knows much about Maverick, and they know an awful lot more, and they're going to find out more right now.
Last time here in the Casa Loma Ballroom, this man Maverick led Team St. Louis to a victory and tied up the I-70 series, or the I-70 Turf War as some have called it, to 1-1. And he was an integral part in that matchup.
Absolutely was. He's a big powerhouse, that's for sure. The only thing that I can say negative about Maverick, he seems to be cold. He's always wearing hats indoors. Why would you wear a hat indoors? He's got that thick beard. You think he'd be warm enough, right? Maybe there's something we don't know about Maverick that we should investigate. I'll do that. I'm an investigative journalist myself. I should find out everything about Maverick.
Well, I'll leave that to you, Christopher, to find out why Maverick is wearing stocking caps to the ring.
I mean, that's a dumb look, right? It's a dumb look.
You know, I'm more focused on what Maverick can do in the ring, not what he's wearing on his head, Christopher. I mean, come on.
Well, absolutely. That's something Cal Stark should be worried about. Now, Cal Stark, guy, we don't know a whole lot about Cal Stark, do we?
We don't know a whole lot about Cal Stark, but the one thing we do know is he's always looking for a fight. This guy, he seems like he just walks off the streets and comes into the wrestling ring. He's always looking for competition, always looking for a fight. Wild and unpredictable guy, is Cal Stark.
Certainly a guy that marches to the beat of his own drummer. It looks to me, though, that he might be the one getting beat like a drum in this match.
It definitely could be the case. Cal Stark always seems to pick competition that's maybe a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit badder, but that shows that this guy has something, maybe some call it courageous, you may call it stupidity, Christopher, but either way, this guy's got something to prove, and he's looking to prove it right here tonight.
You don't get anything in life by sitting back and waiting for it, and I'll give it up to Cal Stark for going after what he wants, and looks like he's going to want a piece of Maverick. A big win over Maverick puts him on the map here at NWL STL, that's for sure.
That's right. It looks like we're going to get underway here. The bell is sounded, and Cal Stark gets met with a vicious clothesline. Cal Stark always likes to start fast. This could be it. Gets a 2 count. Did you see that clothesline, Christopher? Nearly decapitated the fast-starting Cal Stark.
Maverick, big, tough, strong, explosive gentleman for sure. Cal Stark not backing down, though.
And Cal Stark won't back down this entire match. This guy seems fearless. Maverick with a back elbow. Gets a 1 count only. Cal Stark still got a lot of fight left in him. Maverick looking to pick up his first official singles victory here in St. Louis.
Absolutely. You know, you can get all the 6-man and the tag wins that you're on, but ultimately it comes down to what can you do on your own. Maverick looking to prove himself here in STL, that's for sure.
Clothesline takes down Cal Stark again. or maybe that might have been a back elbow. Either way, effective nonetheless. Looks like he's setting him up here for a suplex. Cal Stark putting the brakes on, and a couple fists to the midsection of Maverick here.
As big and as powerful as Maverick is, Cal not quite ready for that maneuver. But he is ready to take a belly-to-back suplex.
Belly-to-back suplex drills Cal Stark right in the center of the ring.
Textbook execution right there. You can definitely tell Maverick has been around the world. Definitely has a blend of different styles. Lots of power in this young man.
It almost looked like he threw Cal Stark with that belly-to-back suplex there, Christopher. I mean, really, really putting it all together here in the ring. Cal Stark putting the brakes on. Maverick firing with some right hands there, right to the side of the head of Cal Stark.
Why do you keep saying my name? I know who I am. You don't need to keep readdressing me.
You're just making sure the fans at home know who you are, Christopher.
Well, hey, believe me, people know who I am. And they're going to know who Cal Stark is after maneuvers like that. Look at that beautiful missile drop kick. Maverick out to the floor.
Missile drop kick connects squarely with that big chiseled chest of Maverick. Looks like Cal Stark might be taken to the air. Tope con hilo connects with Maverick on the outside. Nicely executed by the not always high-flying Cal Stark.
Absolutely. That's one of the things. We talked about him being mysterious, right? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about. Would you expect that from Cal Stark? Well, maybe you wouldn't, but you certainly should, right? You never know what this guy is going to pull out of his bag of tricks.
He's got to keep the game plan varied, the offense varied, if he expects to pick up a win over Maverick. Keep him guessing. Belly-to-back suplex drops him hard on that hardest part of the ring right there, the steel and the wood right on the apron.
Very resourceful from Maverick, taking advantage of the situation, that's for sure. Cal Stark really taking it to Maverick, though. I got to say that I'm seeing a lot from Cal Stark here in this match.
High elevation on that back body drop. Drops Cal Stark right in the center of the ring. Going for a cover here, only gets a 2 count. Referee Jason Pemberton right on top of the action.
Backdrop kind of move that takes a lot more out. You know, it doesn't get a lot of press like a lot of the other fancy stuff, but being dropped on your back from about 8 feet in the air does not feel good, that's for sure.
Snap suplex, goes for another cover, gets a 2 count. Maverick showing his power with that high back body drop and that quick snap suplex.
Would you say that Maverick is the odds-on favor after some of the big things that he's done already here in STL to get that St. Louis championship?
There's enough, I would say that. There's enough fire, enough fan support here to maybe drive Maverick all the way through to that final round of the St. Louis tournament.
Well, if he keeps performing like he is right now, I don't think I see anything stopping him, that's for sure, except maybe wearing that beanie too tight. That could probably cut the circulation out to his brain, probably.
Still concerned with that headgear.
It's just god-awful, isn't it? It's a terrible, terrible headwear.
Again, I'm not paying attention to that. I'm paying attention to what he can do in the ring, and as well as you should. Let's talk about the body scissors here. Body scissors with a man with the quads the size of Maverick can be a very effective hold. Rolls him back, tries to get his shoulders down the mat, does Cal Stark. Smart by Cal Stark. If he's going to be in that hold, try to get a quick pin out.
He doesn't have it completely locked in. He should have his chest completely against Cal Stark's back. Can't quite get him. Kudos to Cal Stark for keeping himself turned just a little bit. It's going to save himself a lot of pain on the spine and the lower back for sure. And also puts him in a position to do exactly what he's doing right now, which is to fight out.
Elbows right into the face of Maverick. There seems to be no quit in Cal Stark. The unpredictable, the wildness, the heart of Cal Stark, if you will, seems to be on display here, and he's ready to take it to Maverick here tonight.
I don't think Maverick expected this kind of fight. I don't think we expected this kind of fight from Cal Stark either. Cal really putting up a good fight, although looks like maybe getting a little bit of the worse for wear right now.
Cal Stark shoots Maverick off into the corner, trying to mount some momentum, trying to get some offense on the big Maverick. Dumps him over the top rope. Maverick firing back with a right hand right to the face of Cal Stark.
Dangerous place for Cal Stark to be right now.
Oh, misses the big boot attempt. Cal Stark, what is he doing here?
Ooh.
Snaps his neck down. Backwards over that top rope. That could do a lot of damage to the neck and the spine region of Maverick. Even though Maverick has, quite the neck and set of traps on him, that can still do its damage.
You could get a stinger right there. You could get a lot of pain in that upper shoulder area and lower neck area. Definitely feeling the effects of that right now. You can tell he's slow to get up for sure.
Kicks him right in the midsection, Cal Stark, and Maverick just unrelenting, just keeps coming back. No matter what Cal Stark does, Maverick it remains on the offense, and Cal Stark trying to fire back here with forearms and chops, just lighting into Maverick, but Maverick keeps coming forward. Nice right hand there by Cal Stark. This guy will not quit.
I didn't expect to see such a street fight as I'm seeing right now. I don't think Maverick expected Cal Stark to take the fight to him like he's been doing. Kudos to Cal Stark. Going to keep at it. He's got a lot more in the tank than we thought.
Cal Stark last time out here in the Casa Loma Ballroom on the losing end of a match here. So he starts off his career in St. Louis in the NWL STL 0-1. So he is desperate to pick up this win tonight here against Maverick.
Listen, Cal Stark fought Todd Letterman the last time we saw him in an STL ring, and now he's taking on Maverick. He's taking on arguably the two biggest and baddest guys, and to me, that's a guy that deserves respect because he's not backing down from anybody. You only get better, and you only get the brass ring if you go after things that are difficult, and that's what he's doing. It looks like it might start paying off for him. Beautiful. He looks like referee might want to check that. Is he choking him out? I don't think he's quite underneath the chin.
He's using Maverick's big arm across, using it against him, using it across the throat and neck area. And Maverick fights his way out of that and hits him with a right hand right across the face again. Maverick using all sorts of nice flying forearm there by Cal Stark. Reminds me of Terry Taylor a little bit.
This is in the point of the match right here where your speed will start to come into play. As you start getting a little tired, you start kind of getting the tank running a little bit low. Guys that are naturally fast and pull off maneuvers just like that. Beautiful insecurity kick to the face.
Cal Stark mounting the second rope. Ooh, Meteora driver.
I think that's going to be it right there. He's got him.
Two. Only gets a 2 count on Maverick. Don't forget, fans, coming up later, we have Cornell Douglas taking on Dominick Butler, as well as our huge tag team main event of the Underground versus the Blood Brothers.
You know, you're talking about the future. Let's talk about the present, and let's talk about Cal Stark looking for his first win right now.
Maverick has him up on his shoulders in a fireman's carry position. Cal Stark wiggling out.
That's a roll-up. He's got him.
Roll-up. 2. Only gets a 2 count.
He should have pulled the tights. He'd have had him. That's what I'd have done.
Whatever it takes to get to the pay window, I guess, huh, Christopher?
Absolutely.
Sorry, I called you Christopher again. I apologize.
That's my name.
Can I call you Chris?
Call me Chris. No, you cannot call me Chris.
No. All right. Maverick ducks. He tries for a clothesline. Ducks there. Cal, look at the power.
Beautiful swinging full Nelson into a slam. I think
swinging
that's
full Nelson drives him right into the canvas.
That looks like a beginning of the end for Cal Stark. He's not in a good way right now. Things are not looking up.
Maverick could be setting him up for his patented running gory bomb here. Has Cal Stark up on his shoulders. This could be it. Running gory bomb connects, and this is it. This is scientific from here on out. 2, 3, and that's it. Maverick picking up his first singles victory here in the Casa Loma Ballroom.
He was in a fight for sure. He knows it. He's not doing great right now, but he did come up with the victory, and he's got a smile on his face. This guy likes to fight, and he's in for a lot of them here in the NWL STL.
Like you said, this could be the guy. This could be the man that makes it all the way to the finals in the St. Louis tournament. And I think a lot of the fans here in the Casa Loma Ballroom are hoping for that, and he may be your first St. Louis champion. Certainly
has exploded onto the scene. Fans have really taken to him. I can't say really anything negative about Maverick except for that stupid beanie. If somebody could just tell him to get rid of that thing, I bet you he goes straight to the top.
Well, while Mr. Fulton is obsessing over the headwear of Maverick, we'll be right back, folks, with our next matchup. Cornell Douglas taking on Dominick Butler.
My name is Carolina Griselda Esmeralda Rodriguez, and I have traveled the world to find the perfect man, the perfect athlete, and I have. His name is Christian Adonis, and Christian Adonis is the best.
No woman talks for Christian Adonis. You know, it's no secret that Christian Adonis is a catch. It's a fact. Christian Adonis is the greatest catch walking the face of God's green earth, not only when it comes to women, but when it comes to the world of professional wrestling. This woman right here will do anything that I say. And that's why I am going to rise to the top of the NWL. Christian Adonis is the perfect mix of the man that all the women want to be with and the athlete that all the men want to be.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to the National Wrestling League STL, and we have our next singles match coming for you right now. Cornell Douglas is making his way to the ring.
You talk about big-time players here in the NWL. Well, I don't think they get too much bigger than Cornell Douglas. Certainly a, pardon the phrasing, a dark horse in the running for the title.
Absolutely. Cornell Douglas, the music, the attire, everything about Cornell Douglas screams a certain something. However, his demeanor is what matters the most. There is something dark and sinister lurking underneath the flashy exterior of one Cornell Douglas.
You say dark and sinister, I say confident and passionate. This is a man who loves the neighborhood where he comes from, he loves his people, and he does what's best for them. And if you have any questions about that, well, he will certainly answer them for you. And I think he's going to answer a few questions about whether or not Dominick Butler is going to continue here in the NWL right now.
Dominick Butler, certainly one of the more flashier competitors, about to make his way out to the ring here in just a second. One of the more flashier competitors of the NWL STL roster. This guy, though, is exciting. He's a fun, charismatic wrestler. He just needs to stay focused on the match.
Well, I got to be honest, I think Dominick Butler is a lot like a lot of other young competitors in here, in the fact that quite frankly, he's pretty stupid. He does dumb things. He's infatuated with a young woman, and it's affecting his performance here in the ring.
Well, you've been infatuated with women. Sometimes it can blind you, Christopher.
Check yourself. Women infatuated with me. I don't. It's not the other way around. Not a two-way street. And I don't let women get in front of my business, much like Cornell Douglas.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Cornell Douglas, and I am an advocate for my people.
Always on his mind.
You want to check my zipper? You can come in here and be a man and do it. And since I was interrupted, my name is Cornell Douglas, and I'm the voice of a nation. My name is Cornell Douglas, and I have an issue. My issue is with people like this guy right here, and like all of you who are privileged.
I hope
You may boo me now. You boo me because you don't know what it is. You don't know the deal. The deal is, it's people like you with all the privilege. You come into sections like mine and you set up shop, and then you commit the sin of all sins. You break the holy rules of Cornell.
He's talking about you.
What I'm talking about is an all-out war on the privileged, and an all-out war on people that try to keep people like myself, people in the hood, down. Oh yes, it's boring to you because people, you're all about the alternative news, and things like this might be a little too real. So let me end with this. My name is Cornell Douglas, and I am my brother's keeper.
startling words there from Cornell Douglas, sending an ominous message to some, maybe all of us. I don't know what to make of that, but what I do know is that Cornell Douglas has one of the most devastating moves in professional wrestling history, perhaps, in the hard punch. And if he connects that with Dominick Butler, there is no way Dominick Butler's picking up a win here tonight.
That's the smartest thing you've said all day, probably the smartest thing you've ever said in your entire life. That's absolutely. Can you imagine what it's like to be Dominick Butler in there? You know, you're happy-go-lucky, you're slapping hands, and you're just excited to be there. And who do you have to step across the ring with? But Cornell Douglas, a man on a mission for sure. But we will see. Dominick Butler, I mean, he looks like somebody. He doesn't. Have I met him before? He just really looks familiar.
Are you talking about Dominick Butler?
Yes. Well, he just look at his face. He sure looks familiar, doesn't he?
I don't know what you could be talking about.
He's going to have
But it looks like Cornell Douglas is telling, what is he saying? He's telling him to get out of the ring. He's saying, you have privilege. You have everything going for you. You need to make your way to the back. He's warning Dominick Butler before they get started.
A fair warning, I think, to Dominick Butler. Maybe you live to fight another day. Maybe you do take him up on that offer. He's not going to offer it twice, I can guarantee you that.
That's definitely true. Look, Dominick looks like he's actually considering
wouldn't
going
you?
to the back.
I mean, wouldn't you consider that?
Absolutely. I do not. I would not want to be, like you said, be on the other side of the ring of one Cornell Douglas, excuse me. And it looks like we're underway here. Dominick Butler not taking the words of Cornell Douglas to heart, and he's starting firing some shots into Cornell Douglas here, trying to knock the big man off his feet, and Cornell's not having any part of that. Just shoves Dominick Butler back to the ropes.
Look, nothing fancy. It's just straightforward, raw-boned aggression. He is working over Dominick Butler right there. That's the last thing you want to do is get involved in a street fight with Cornell Douglas.
Cornell Douglas firing rights and lefts into the midsection, then goes upstairs on Dominick Butler. Dominick Butler came up on the losing end of the equation last time here in the Casa Loma Ballroom because, like you alluded to earlier, he was obsessed with Carolina, who is Christian Adonis's valet or support, if you will.
Absolutely. I bet he's wishing he was in the ring with Carolina right now and not Cornell Douglas, that's for sure.
Dominick Butler, in order to get a win here, needs to keep his eye on the prize, and that's not one way to do it. Oh, nice drop kick. Connects right
onto the table, taking out the ring announcer, Ben Simon, also the bell ringer. Hope those folks are okay. I don't really care if they're okay. I hope Cornell Douglas is okay.
Cornell Douglas almost taking out our entire staff here in the Casa Loma Ballroom. Looks like Dominick Butler looking for some high-risk maneuver, going for a cross-body block, and Douglas just meets him with a right hand.
Absolutely. Do all those fancy things, kid, and you're still going to get punched right in the face. Boy.
If you're paying attention to our YouTube channel, which you should go subscribe to right now, Cornell Douglas beat a man up on the streets. Do you know... I mean, let's think about that. He hit the man right in the chest with a hard punch right on the street. He should have been arrested. That was assault.
That man, he owed a little money, right? And you're saying that it's okay to not pay your debts? Is that what you're saying? I think Cornell Douglas is perfectly in his right to do whatever he wants to do. I mean, it is the code of Cornell, if you ask me. He is his brother's keeper. He's looking out for his people. And if you got to get a little rough sometimes, that's what you got to do.
It was assault, and you know it. Nice knee by Dominick Butler to the face of Cornell Douglas, trying to mount some offense against Cornell Douglas. Smashes him into the corner, looking like he's going for another. Oh, and he gets his head taken off by a Cornell Douglas clothesline. Not able to mount any offense against the big Cornell Douglas here tonight. Going for a cover. This could be it. It's a 1.5 count there.
Lazy cover. He didn't want to beat him right there. He could have beat him right there, and he didn't want to do it.
This man's dangerous. This man is very, very dangerous. And I think Dominick Butler needs to hurry up, get a pin, get a quick sunset flip or a roll-up of some sort and get to the back, because the longer he's in there with someone like Cornell Douglas, the less of a chance he has of winning.
Easier said than done. You think Cornell doesn't know that most people can't go toe-to-toe with him. They're always looking to sneak in the back door. Cornell Douglas knows all about that, and that's why he is on top right now, and I expect big, big things from Cornell Douglas. If you're a betting man, I think you bet on the big man.
Just misses a splash there in the corner. Dominick Butler firing a kick upstairs. Going to the high-written district here in the Casa Loma Ballroom. What does he have planned? High cross body connects.
He might have him right here.
Throw him off his game here. Gets a 2 count.
If you'd have hooked the leg on the way down, he probably could have had Cornell Douglas right there. Kind of a rookie mistake on the part of Dominick Butler.
Dominick Butler looks like he's got his head fully in this match. Side suplex. Nicely executed, by Cornell Douglas. Cornell Douglas looking for a splash. Connects right in the center of the ring. This could be it for Butler. Oh, that. You could tell right there he could have pinned Dominick Butler if he wanted to.
Absolutely.
But Cornell Douglas wants to put some more punishment on the young superstar.
And that's what he's doing right now, just right in front of the referee, choking him. There's nothing Michael Crace can do about it except put a count on him, right? No wasted motion in Cornell Douglas. You know, he's not fancy. He's straightforward, and he's in your face. He's in your face with his words and with his actions, just like he is here. I am very, very impressed with this big man.
Like you said earlier, Christopher, this could be the dark horse for the tournament. This could be the guy that no one sees coming, and he could take home that St. Louis championship. He could make it all the way to the finals, especially with that heart punch.
Well, you tell me who's going to beat him. Who's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with this guy? Look at it. He's taken everything that Dominick Butler has had to give, and he's still standing straight up. I don't think Dominick Butler's taken him off his feet more than once or twice.
Spikes him right into the mat. Like you said, I don't even think Dominick Butler has left his feet unless it was on his own volition.
Cornell Douglas has not left his feet.
Excuse me.
Boy, I got to do your job too.
Getting so wrapped up in the action here in the National Wrestling League, I mix the guys' names up. This could be it. Set him up. Hard punch connects. That's it.
He is out.
He is out.
He is
that
out
hard
for a
punch
long.
will put anybody out. 3 count.
You can count to 100. He's out.
That's it. Cornell Douglas scores with a hard punch and picks up another victory here in the Casa Loma Ballroom.
Dominick Butler's probably going to need some medical attention. Anytime you get hit with a hard punch, sends shockwaves through your entire system. That young man's going to have problems not only for the rest of the night, probably the rest of the week. Cornell Douglas, look at the look on that man's face. You tell me he's not serious? You tell me he's not ready for the title? Who's going to beat him? Who's going to step up and take that man out? I don't see anybody doing it right now. Very, very impressed.
Putting the verbal beat down on Dominick Butler after he lays in that hard punch. And like you said, the hard punch, I think Major Baisden needs to take a meeting or two and seriously consider banning that maneuver. It's been banned across the United States in a lot of various different promotions and states. And I think we need to take a look at this and make sure that none of our athletes get seriously injured.
That's just like you, a privileged man, taking away somebody's only weapon. Well, obviously it's not his only weapon, but you think just because maybe one of your favorites isn't good at a maneuver like that it should be banned? I don't think so. Cornell Douglas perfected it. It's taken him to a lot of victories on the streets and in the ring, and I think it's going to take him all the way to the NWL STL Championship. That's Cornell Douglas. He's here for a reason. Nobody really knows what it is, but Cornell will let us all know in time, I'm sure.
Cornell Douglas means business here in the NWL STL. And fans, we'll be right back with your main event of the evening.
Well, fans, our next contest is set for one fall.
All right, wrestling fans, we're back for the main event of the evening, and this is going to be a tag team war, Christopher. The Underground are Wait.
What is this?
What's
we
going
saw
on
something
here?
like this not long ago. This gentleman bringing a package to the ring. Well, is this really the right time to be doing this?
I have on our format here, it was the Underground versus the Blood Brothers, but there's a FedEx package being delivered to our ring announcer, Ben Simon.
I guess he's getting a late Christmas present or something. I don't understand why we have to read this. It looks like some sort of a book or something.
What is that? It's bound up. It's.
I guess it must be important if it was delivered during the show. Apparently somebody wants this to be read. And papers aren't even together.
Looks like Ben Simon's going to try to make sense of this.
My name is not important. My message is, this thing you are doing is a disgrace. It's just a show. Time was when a man didn't need to talk to make his point. Time was when a man proved his worth with his feet and his hands, not his tongue and his yapper. I am tired, I am done, I won't participate, I won't destroy the one thing that is pure. You hypocrites have ruined the sport I loved. You have soiled the name of pro wrestling. I know the truth, this is my manifesto. Okay.
This is some sort of an anti-Facebook message or something. The anti-social network send this? I don't get this.
Michael Crace looking
Moving
confused too, and Ben Simon, I don't even know what that means.
Let's get ourselves a post office box so we can keep this from happening again, I think.
And it is a tag team match.
Well, no matter what that meant, I'm just as puzzled as everyone here in the Casa Loma Ballroom.
Look, it's time for the main event. We'll put all that behind us.
It is time for the main event. Jackie Lee Bosch and Adam Ryan of the Underground are about to make their way into the Casa Loma Ballroom. And you want to talk about not making any sense. These guys, it's hard to make sense of where these guys are going in the tag team division.
I'd say one thing, though. These two guys have really impressed me. They really gel very well together as a team.
Lifelong childhood friends of Jackie Lee Bosch, who's wearing the cutoff shirt, and Adam Ryan in the khakis, looking like he just got off a 9-to-5 job. But these guys, lifelong friends, Jackie Lee Bosch, Adam Ryan, they decided to go their separate ways in later adolescence, and Adam Ryan went off to college. Jackie Lee Bosch stayed behind, and there's something off about these guys, if you will, Charles.
What do you think
Christopher.
You dare call me a wrong name? Do that one more time, and that'll be it for you, son. What do you think is off with these? So what are you alluding to?
When you look at Adam Ryan, it's almost like Jackie Lee Bosch is the devil on Adam Ryan's shoulder. He's taunting him almost. But their opponents here coming out to the ring, the Blood Brothers, are probably the most loved tag team here in the St. Louis scene. Davey Gibson and Mathew Grundy are here in the Casa Loma Ballroom.
Well, I don't know what that speaks for these guys. I will say this, St. Louis fans, not real bright, but I will say that these guys are fantastic tag team. You talk about all the great tag teams that are here in the NWL, and these guys are definitely on top of the list, that's for sure. But I'm expecting an upset. If you would call the Underground as an upset, I would, and I think they're going to do it tonight.
Strong words there for my tag team partner for the evening, Christopher.
We're not partners, okay?
Well, just for tonight.
I'm a guy that's getting a paycheck to sit next to you, and believe me, it has to be a pretty high number for me to do that.
Grundy is the shorter hair one of the two. Davey Gibson, longer hair of the Blood Brothers. Grundy, the more unhinged, unorthodox stylistically speaking, of the Blood Brothers. Looks like we're going to get Grundy versus, speaking of a little off, Adam Ryan. As I was saying earlier, it seems like Adam Ryan, he's got this vacant stare in his face. On his face. He looks like he switches back and forth between personalities. Really strange guy, but can get it done here in the ring.
Absolutely, he is a very, very talented young man in the ring. Who cares if he's a little conflicted? Everybody's a little conflicted. Don't you have some things that you're conflicted about? The take a penny, leave a penny jar at the store. You probably take a penny. You never give one, do you? So maybe that's all that it is. Maybe you're making too much out of it.
Quick tags in and out here by Davey Gibson and Mathew Grundy. Grundy coming back into the ring, working over that arm of Adam Ryan. Tag back into Davey Gibson.
But again, this is something very, very simple. But look at these guys. They're in and out. They're tagging very quickly, not spending a lot of energy or a lot of time in the ring. Even at this early stage of the match, certainly is something that's going to pay off and has paid off for these guys all over the world, all over the country, for sure.
Although the Underground has been a tag team a lot less of time than the Blood Brothers. Like you said, these guys are lifelong friends, though, so they could, that kind of relationship, that kind of bond could work in the Underground's favor, and they could upset the Blood Brothers here tonight.
As sporadic as some of the things are with the Underground, one thing that is consistent with these guys is that they definitely have a connection. Beautiful teamwork right there.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Basement drop kick by Mathew Grundy right to the face of Adam Ryan. And he's looking to make a tag here to the devil on his shoulder, Jackie Lee Bosch.
Look at these guys posing, having fun, not keeping their mind on their opponents. I think that's going to come back.
Look at Jackie Lee didn't even make the tag to Adam Ryan. He's telling him to stand up for himself, slapping him across the face. I'm telling you, this Jackie Lee Bosch guy, he's a bad influence on Adam Ryan. I really believe if he had never reconnected with Jackie Lee Bosch, Adam Ryan would be living a nice, peaceful life somewhere else.
Do you think that he's not doing what he loves to do right now? Sometimes you just need a little inspiration, and that's all he's getting from Jackie Lee Bosch. You say that he's the devil on his shoulder. I think he's probably the angel on his shoulder. Look at that. Things worked out. Sometimes guys just need a little inspiration, a little kick in the pants.
Cover one gets a 1 count only on Davey Gibson, does Adam Ryan. Now, the Underground were responsible, if you will, for tearing the ACL of one Neon Iverson. That's a reprehensible act. Taking a man and putting him on the shelf, taking away his livelihood and his business is not something that any tag team should aspire to do here.
Things happen in the squared circle. Things happen to men who have the guts to step into the ring. Not something you know anything about, by the way. Neon Iverson knew what he was signing up for when he got in the ring with the Underground. The Underground didn't do anything cheap, didn't do anything dirty. They beat a man up and they tore his ACL, and they sent a message to everybody out there. I think if they had the opportunity, they'd probably do it again, and I applaud them for it.
Big boot there connects to the face of Davey Gibson. Adam Ryan trying to mount some offense here, goes for a cover, gets a 2 count on Davey Gibson. I don't agree with what I don't agree with in the Neon Iverson situation is the way they attacked Des Welston. They didn't even give Des Welston a chance to check on his tag team partner long enough to make sure his tag team partner could at least walk, and they jumped all over Des Welston, smelling that blood, smelling that fresh meat, and they capitalized on it and scored a huge upset against the Soldiers.
Well, who cares what you think about anything, and what do you think that they did the right thing or not? Have you ever been in the ring there? Have you ever had to fight a man to pay your bills? You haven't. So I think you should just sit there, call the matches, and shut up. These guys are a talented team. They're doing exactly what they should be doing here in the NWL. Look at this guy. You want to talk unhinged.
Back senton there by Jackie Lee Bosch.
I would agree with that. Maybe the guy is a little unhinged, but to be a man who makes his living as a professional wrestler, maybe you don't have to be all that same, right?
That's very true. Jackie Lee Bosch coming in the ring now, finally accepting the tag from Adam Ryan. Tags Adam Ryan back in the ring against Davey Gibson here. Overhand chop connects. Backhand chop by Adam Ryan connects as well. Nice double teamwork here by the Underground, throwing Davey Gibson back first in that turnbuckle. Jackie Lee Bosch missing. Oh! Davey Gibson with a kick right to the side of the head of Jackie Lee Bosch. Adam Ryan gets dumped to the outside. A handful of hair.
Beautiful.
Drags Davey Gibson back down to the canvas.
Always be aware of your surroundings, and he got him right there. He caught him napping.
Jackie Lee Bosch sending Mathew Grundy down to the outside there. Desperately trying to make the tag here to his tag team partner. Kicks off Jackie Lee Bosch. Makes the tag to Grundy. Grundy coming in the ring. Nice backsplash there. Tries to connect with the big foot. Puts the enziguri right on Adam Ryan here. Trying to fight both members of the Underground. This Grundy is something else.
He certainly is. Quicker than a hiccup.
DDT.
Wow. This guy can move, and he's got both of the members of the Underground on their toes right now. Looks like he's going up top. Is he going up top?
Mathew Grundy here gets caught with a forearm and a Pele kick to Adam Ryan. Now Grundy going to the top rope here. What is he looking for? Nice press.
Beautiful crossbody.
Crossbody block 2. Gets a 2 count only. I thought that was it.
Should have hooked the leg. He might have had him right there. Jackie Lee Bosch, though, still has a lot in the tank. A very, very tough guy. Man, but he is on Dream Street right now.
Jackie Lee Bosch looks like he can't even stand right now. Double team move from the Blood Brothers here. Nicely executed. Connects with that move. I don't even know what to call that. Covers it 1, 2. Only gets a 2 count. Adam Ryan in to break it up.
Makes a save right there. All 4 men in the ring right now. Adam Ryan tossing out Gibson. Looks like they're going to set him up for some kind of double team move.
Isolating Mathew Grundy here. Davey Gibson spills to the outside. Headbutt connects with the face. Nice code breaker. Connects by Adam Ryan. Saito suplex. This could be it. This could be the upset you were looking for. 1, 2. Almost gets a 3 count.
I think that was a slow count on Michael Crace's part. The guy's been slow all night long. I think they had him right there.
Barely rolls the left shoulder up. Davey Gibson dragging Adam Ryan to the outside, and the pair exchanging forearms and rights to the face. Brawling outside here in the Casa Loma Ballroom, sends him crashing into the guardrail.
You want to get into a street fight with these guys? I don't think you do. I think that the Underground, this is how those guys make their money, by throwing
Schoolboy roll-up, goes for another cover.
There you go, got the tights, he's got him.
Michael Crace needs to be on top of that. He had a handful of tights. We can't allow that kind of behavior.
Michael
here in the
Crace
National
doing
Wrestling
exactly
League.
what he should have been doing, which is checking the shoulders. Jackie Lee Bosch just trying to take the advantage.
Looks like he's
of the
going for another
opportunity.
schoolboy. Runs right into a gut-wrench powerbomb, sits
Beautiful.
out into it. This
That's
could be
gonna be
it.
it.
1, 2.
How much more punishment can Grundy take? I don't think he's got much left in him. Jackie Lee Bosch certainly has been putting it to him the last couple of minutes here.
Now Jackie Lee Bosch looks like he's calling the shots here for Adam Ryan, telling him to go up. It makes a tag into Adam Ryan. Adam Ryan looks conflicted, a little slow to get in the ring there.
Adam Ryan, right now, if you would just be listening to Jackie Lee Bosch, you would have won this match by now. You need to take advantage of the expertise this guy
Davey
offers.
Gibson just shoved Jackie Lee Bosch off the top rope. It looks like Adam Ryan is, it might be at the
Gibson's up. Oh, no. Not good for Adam Ryan.
hanging him upside down almost in the tree. Whoa, Mathew Grundy making a drop kick right into the chest. This could be their super bomb combination. Power bomb for the second ropes.
That's gonna
this
be
could
it.
be it on Adam Ryan. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. The Blood Brothers score a victory tonight here in our main event against the Underground.
Adam Ryan, just those couple of seconds of doubt, those couple of seconds of hesitation, and look what it did. It caught him. Adam, I implore you, please listen to Jackie. He's got your best interest in mind. He's going to take you to the top. If you keep hesitating like that, you're going to get beat just like you did.
Last time in the Casa Loma Ballroom, the Blood Brothers helped pick up an all-important victory for Team St. Louis. Here, they get their first win in tag team competition. And when you think about the tag team landscape here in the National Wrestling League STL, these guys are probably at the top of the list, maybe at the top of the list of any tag team list in the Midwest or all across the world. Well, thank you for joining us, wrestling fans, and we hope you tune in next time to the National Wrestling League STL. Good night, everybody.